first class working in the studio, and I hit it here. Oh dear. If you ever saw the price of gas go up and you wonder why you bought a motorcycle that takes premium, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all liked my Halloween video. Pretty much I spent a lot of time with family, so I just try to make some little happy Halloween. I'm like all over the road because my visor just fogged up. That's what happens when you clean your visor at the gas station. It's a little later than usual. It's kind of a lot later. It's darker, so obviously it's a lot later. But I'm heading in for a little writing session and actually to consolidate some files. My studio computer, I've been putting way too much stuff on there, not filing them correctly to get them off, so I got to take them all off, anything I don't really need, and make sure I got enough room to work on the next batch of stuff coming up. So I like to get organized. I've got some backup drives, and I organize everything by date, year, month, events, things like that. I pile them away in there. Comes in handy. Sometimes you have to recall a session from 10 years ago, and you can just reopen it and it's good to go. For the most part though, it's pretty easy to do. And I bought a huge 20 terabyte drive, I want to say maybe 6 years ago, and I started using that as a backup instead of having all these small ones that just didn't really make any sense. Because you would just have all these random small ones, different sizes, different brands, different things, and then you'd lose track of them really quickly. And I got tired of that, so I was like, I just want one big one. But actually utilizing it for backups and stuff, well, that's on me. I got to keep up with it. So I try my best to keep up with it, and I think I do a pretty good job. I'm pretty organized. I mean, my studio's not that dirty, so I stay pretty organized. Right now it's got cables everywhere. I said that a little too soon because it's got cables everywhere and it's just a mess. But that's because I was trying to get a writing session going. I had a huge headache. Sometimes, when you really need to do something that probably involves a little bit of creativity, when you're just not feeling it, you don't know what it is, you can't get it down, it just won't happen. That's kind of what happened the other night. And I was hoping to have some footage of that so I could show you guys. And even writing my own stuff, I just had a complete brain fog. I wasn't going anywhere, wasn't doing anything, and wasn't getting anything done. So I was like, you know what, we'll put it to the back burner and we'll try it again here soon. Not a big deal. And then I should have more time here this month to sit down, and I'm really trying to block off some time to have writing sessions, and even just for myself. Sometimes you have to set aside other projects just to do your own creativity so you don't lose your mind. You get so lost in doing things for other people that you forget to do them for yourself. So I'm trying to get a lot done, but really it's saying that is really just, I'm trying to set aside a lot of time for me to get things done and essentially kind of unpack the year. I mean, this is the time of year where it's Thanksgiving's coming up and Christmas is coming up. You spend time thinking about your loved ones and you spend time with your loved ones, if you can. Some people can't travel or they don't live close, that happens. And I usually tend to spend the time consolidating my thoughts about the year, what I've done, what I haven't done, what I want to do, and what I maybe are goals for the following year, like come January, like any goals I have for then. So I really try to set time away, and for me, I get my most work done doing monotonous tasks. So if I'm actually just sitting there like playing along to old songs or songs I know how to play, and I'm just fiddling around playing along to the PA or something, I actually get a lot done. I'll spend time in my brain, and then and sometimes that's all I need. I just need an hour or two, you know, sitting down with the guitar, not even really playing anything specific. Sometimes just kind of warming up my hands and doing various warm-ups or various routines or various little licks that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how to play that, or that was a cool lick, I remember doing that. I'll do those, and that'll give me enough time to kind of pack away my brain and figure out things, and then I'm usually a good reset. But I do gotta have that. I have to do it. I used to do it way more often. Now I try to do it around November, December, because typically that's the time of year when everybody's doing family stuff. And for some reason, everybody I know has their birthdays or family members' birthdays in November or December. So in November and December, band stuff's not going on. Other musicians I know aren't doing anything. Everybody's back with family or planning out how to be with family. Nobody's touring. Sometimes people are trying to record, but it's usually like smaller sessions in between things because nobody wants to be trying to overflow closer to the holidays, because if they have to travel to a recording session and they have to fly, well, those flights get really expensive the closer you get to the holiday. So nobody's trying to jump on a plane because they're like, oh, I was going to take a 5-day session to record in Seattle, and then out of nowhere they decide, oh, we're going to stay over one more week. And now it's like, well, you're leaving on the weekend right before Thanksgiving or Christmas. Airlines are just packed. Everything's horrible. And traveling during the holidays is pretty bad. I'm sure it's a little better now because COVID kind of made a lot of people kind of not travel anymore. But I know it's still kind of bad. You still see the stories about like all airplanes are grounded because of potential aliens or whatever they have. Like there's always some news story. But yeah, I'm really just trying to spend some time, downtime, I have to schedule out downtime. It sounds sad, but I really do. Schedule out downtime to just sit around and kind of collect my thoughts, and then I'm hoping that that'll give me some inspiration into some songs and ideas. I do have some other ideas I've been pounding away in my head that I can work on, so that also helps because I can kind of start working on those and kind of recording them or blending them out. And as I do that, maybe I'll have that other thought about, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I want to do this. And I'm still looking for a singer. I've been talking to quite a few, and no surprise here, like I just talked about, the holidays are coming up, so everybody's busy, everybody's got things going on, and it's just going to be harder to do anything. I'm still going to keep looking. I'm really looking for a singer to get a project off the ground and start playing live. Right now, I am having fun working in the studio in my free time, so I don't mind not being in a rush, and I don't want to rush anything. I like to do things and have it all done professionally and done the right way. I don't like to hurry things. Man, I'm going slow because I'm so scared. There's been so many deer out here. I'm so scared of hitting a deer. And there's been some on the side of the road. I've been going by in the day and you see them like they got hit at night. And man, it just, I don't know. That's like a subconscious fear I have driving around and riding around in Texas at night during fall and parts of spring. I always think I'm going to be hitting I always think I'm going to be hitting a deer. I don't know why. That's always in my head. I don't know why that's always in my head. But I'm always like, man, I'm going to hit a deer. I'm going to hit a deer. I mean, I've never hit a deer. I've hit way other things. I hit raccoons and squirrels. One time, I was riding my Harley on a curvy road at night, tired. Like, when you're really, really tired and you really shouldn't be on the bike, I really shouldn't have been riding. So I was like emotionally just wasted. And I'm riding down the road in a curve with no lights, and a freaking armadillo, and an armadillo comes out of nowhere, and I run right over it. I go over this armadillo. I almost lose control. I didn't, luckily. But man, it scared the heck out of me. And I'll never forget that dang armadillo, man. I hit that thing hard. I popped in the air. It was so freaking crazy. And then driving wise, I've hit a lot of squirrels and cats and possums and things. I mean, just because Texas rural areas, it's harder to see anything at night when there's not a lot of lights. Hell, I think even in the city, a lot of people just have their animals and stuff out. It might not matter. It might be just like an all-around thing. It happens to everybody. But back when I was younger, I had a Camaro, and I remember driving through a neighborhood where for some reason they had a speed bump. And I go over this speed bump, and as I'm like approaching the speed bump, I can see a cat coming across, trying to run and make it to the other side. And I'm like, it's too late for me to slam on my brake or do anything. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I just keep cruising. That cat must have hit the speed bump the same time I did. And spoiler alert, if you got kids, you know, cover their ears real quick. Let's just say I went over that speed bump, and that cat went both directions. I saw part of the cat go left and part of the cat go right. I'm pretty sure we met up to that speed bump at the same time, and he got dissected. And yeah, unfortunate for that cat. And I had a Camaro, and I did have it lowered, so I mean, there wasn't much space for him to be underneath me, especially if he hit me as I approached the front of that speed bump. Yeah, I never really hit anything before, like nothing major at least. I'd knock on wood, but German engineering makes these solid steel. Is there something that you and your family does that's like a ritual? Like you all get together and go into the mountains, or everybody goes to grandma's house for Thanksgiving and, you know, a different grandpa's house for Christmas or something? Let me know in the comments what you guys do. I'm kind of looking for ideas for something to make my own. And a couple of years ago, I used to spend every holidays going up to New York, upstate New York. And I'd spend the holidays in upstate New York for band stuff. And I kind of miss that. That all died at COVID. It doesn't happen anymore. And I'm trying to figure out my own like thing I can get done or do like in December, November. Like, I really don't know what it would be now. Like, I know they just have a Lone Star Rally coming up. That's down in Galveston, but I can't get the time off to get there. And even if I tried to make it last minute, I don't even know if anybody else I know is going. And to be able to figure out how to stay somewhere and get everything done and make sure that I'm not like just on the road with nobody knowing where I'm at, and have a place to stay and everything worked out, all the arrangements. Yeah, it's too late in the year for me to do that. People plan those things like so far in advance. And where I used to be the guy that would just be like, I'll sleep off the bike. Like, I like some creature comforts now. You know, I don't mind. Like, I do want to go camping off the bike again, but the problem with that is I still don't have a way to carry luggage or anything on the bike. I'm still working on that. I think I got an idea of something I want to do, but I'm still figuring it out. Because I also even played around with the idea of, well, what if I had a bike that was like my cruiser, like this, and I just ride this around for cruising, my normal riding and everything, and then I actually look about getting another bike or building another bike that's specifically for like the longer trips, so I can take and try to do things like that. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking that through, but I got a lot of motorcycle parts, so I could probably put something together, and that's been on my mind. Be a fun little project. But just like any other person, you go, oh, that'd be a fun project, until you realize how much effort it takes building a motorcycle from scratch, or from, you know, mostly scratch pieces that are leftovers from all the chopped configurations of other things you owned. So it's kind of like guitars. You chop up guitars and then someday you're like, oh my gosh, I got this really cool pickup I forgot about, and I pulled it out of this Les Paul. Ooh, you know what? I could put this in X guitar, but I don't have that guitar. But what if I built that guitar? Yeah, I have that habit too. I have a beater guitar I built up. It's a mid-70s Ventura, the lawsuit era, where they copied the Les Pauls, but they say Ventura on them. I have one of those, and I put some really nice pickups in it. And, I mean, the pickups in that guitar cost more than the guitar in reality. But it sounds great. Yeah, I don't know. I need to figure out something that I can have as a thing I do during the holidays. And, right now, I'm really focused on, at least this year, I'm really focused on putting that time away so I can get to riding. Like, that's my ultimate focus. If I can get to riding and get things done where I can have something to work with going towards the future. And writing, I don't even have to record it. I just have to sit down and, like, work on it. It helps when I record it. And I typically do record it because I'll forget about it when I try to revisit it at a later point. But, yeah, that's what I got going on. And I can tell you, as a big advocate of keto, I have absolutely been having everything pumpkin spice related that you can find. If you find a pumpkin spice anything and you tell me about it, put it down in the comments. I will seek it out and try it. No joke. Because I have been trying everything pumpkin spice and I have been loving it. Oh, speaking of armadillos, I should have had my brights on. That looked like an armadillo that ran out in front of me right before I did this turn. All this talk of food makes me hungry. Ugh. You know what? I feel like sounds like it's a Whataburger day. I just need something quick to eat on the way to the studio. Late night Whataburger. So, while I was riding right now, and I just left, I first left working in the studio, and I hit it here. Looking for any sign. I felt it. It hit this side right here. It hit me right there. I felt its leg or something hit my foot on there. It made me go up. Man, he was in the middle of the road. I tried to gauge which way he was going to go and try to go the opposite. He stayed still, and I just kind of tried to casually go around him, and I still felt him hit. I think he backed up or something. I don't see any damage. It does smell. I know, like I hit an animal that burned something. Like you can smell like that meat, that pipe or something. You know when you burn your leg on these rocks. You can kind of smell it. I don't really see anything. I just clean the bike too. I don't see anything. Man, that scares me. boot open. These are pretty well used. I ride these quite a lot. Yeah, that ripped my boot open. Man. That's like one of my great fears too about riding at night, is hitting a deer. I'm always worried about hitting a deer. It's one of my great fears. Man, I can smell the meat. Like, you know, you burn yourself on metal. It smells like when you burn yourself on metal. It's so crazy. Yeah. Alright. I definitely gotta get home now. Alright. Stay safe out there. Remember, pull hard, play hard.